Okay, we're going to talk about flashlights for duty. If you carry a gun, carry a light. If you carry a gun for duty purposes, carry two lights. Why would you carry two? Two is one is none. Batteries go dead. LED bulbs can break on you. I've broken several. You can drop it and lose it. A lot of things can happen, so carry two. What size? You want to use a 2-cell or maximum a 3-cell. These are 123 batteries. Sierra 123s of this size. When you start getting much bigger than this, it becomes harder to carry and it becomes harder to use under stress with one hand. You want to have a primary light for tactical purposes, for searching and challenging and things like that. And you want that to be as bright as you can get it, up to 1,000 lumens. And you want it to be a single mode light. You want either all the lumens or none of the lumens. You don't want strobes and medium, high, low, all that stuff. You want it to be simple. You want to have a tail cap switch, not a side switch. Side switch lights, of which none of these are, but result in people doing this a lot. Trying to find a switch, under stress, hard to do, and then they end up dropping them. Seeing that a lot. You can have multi-mode light as your secondary light. So this light here has high and low. Right. High, this is too much to read a driver's license or a document, and low is what that's for administrative stuff. You want the switch to be a tail cap because you can reach this in any position. It's always in the same spot. Very easy to find. You can have a clicker switch, and if you do have a click switch, you click on for constant on or push for a momentary on. Now that switch needs to require some resistance. You don't want to be too easy to activate. All of these lights are Surefire flashlights, and the switch takes some effort to depress, and that's what you want. This one here is a 2-stage Surefire, so you push it part way for low, all the way for high. Works pretty well. And then you turn the tail cap for constant on low or constant on high. This one here, let's see, get our clicker. Let's see, this one. So this one, push it for momentary or twist it for constant. These are a good feature to have on tactical light because you can't leave it on constant on accidentally. When your finger is off of it, your thumb's off of it, it turns off. So with the clicker ones, you can inadvertently leave it on, and sometimes that's not what you want. Okay, so we talked about activating it in the hammer grip, and that's what you want. It's very easy to do under stress. It's what you want. You can make a finger loop, and it helps you hold onto the light easier. So take a zip tie and some gaffer's tape or electrical tape, and then you would put it, make the loop smaller, set it here, cut the tail, and then you would tape it here and here to keep it from moving on you. This is really good, easy to do, cheap modification, because when I'm not using the light, I can let it hang and I can use all these fingers, and then I can swing it back up. Works really well, especially on the smaller lights. Surefire will sell you I think a 3-ring kit for a rubber finger loop that goes on this end of it, and that's a viable option as well. Just realize that which end you put this on determines how you can put it in a pouch. So this is a Surefire V70 holster, and you can go bezel up. The nice thing is that the switch is protected, so you don't have light activations when you insert it into the holster. It will not fit for the Executive Series lights, which are narrow diameter, but I think the V71 is for those, if I remember right. You can also put these in a magazine pouch. Any 1-inch flashlight will fit in a pistol mag pouch just fine. Now when you put it in the pouch, Sometimes you can activate the button, so cup your hand over it, keep from self-blinding yourself. So that's an STAC Kiwi, and then this is an HSGI Taco. On the tacos, it helps to put in at an angle first and then get it going. When they're brand new, they're pretty tight, so the more you use it, the better it works. So if you don't have a finger loop, or even if you do, the way you hold on to this light is you're going to activate it in a hammer grip, and when I need to manipulate a gun or a magazine or anything else, you can just retain it with these fingers, and you can use these fingers to manipulate things. All right, you can also go to what we call a cigar grip, and again, I can use these fingers to manipulate things. Works pretty well. The finger loop method is a bit more secure. A little bit of the history of the flashlights. So lumens is one way of measuring brightness. You can also measure it with candle power. So in the 90s to mid 2000s, 60 lumens was the standard with two 123 batteries. In the mid 2000s, then we went up to 80, then 120, and 200, 320. Now we're into the 500, 600, 800 lumen lights, and a 3-cell light, I can get 1,000 lumens, which is what this one is. This is a P3X Surefire. Now mind you, 800 lumens is about the same as a 40-watt bulb. Nobody's blinded by a 40-watt bulb. These are pretty bright flashlights. There's a lot of urban legends about people self-blinding off of a light-colored wall and things like that, and just haven't found that to be so in all these years of using these lights. Batteries. You can use disposable 123s or rechargeables, and the disposables run usually about $1.50 a battery. The rechargeables are more expensive, and they have half the runtime of the disposables, but you can save a lot of money with the rechargeables. And then you can run this off of a AC wall plug, or you can run it off of a DC car charger. Usually when you buy these, Surefire sell these. A lot of places sell them. Optics Planet is another good vendor. Amazon is another vendor. So there are some batteries that don't work in some lights, so follow the manufacturer's instructions. But I've saved a lot of money with the rechargeables. Now, one thing that I do recommend is the light that I use most often. Right, I run rechargeables in it, and in my second light, I run the disposable 123s, because again, the runtime is 50% or really less. I've had these rechargeables for a couple of years now, and I don't think they're running at 50% of the life of a standard battery. I think it's more like 25%. So I may need to buy some new ones. So this is a kind of an introduction to flashlights for patrol use or duty use. Streamlight, competitor to Surefire, most of their stuff is made in China, so take that into account. But pretty decent company, and they back their products pretty good. You pay less, but of course it's made in China. So we have had some problems with the Streamlight TLRs breaking the battery doors. Breaking quite a few of them. They can make that better. But a Streamlight ProTac HL is comparable to the P2X Fury Surefire. You can get them at about 800 lumens. That's what they're rated. 600 lumens out of a Surefire is kind of comparable to what Streamlight says is 800 in my experience. Seems like Surefire kind of underrates their lumens. So the Fury is a really good light, can't go wrong with that. So here you are with some buying choices, and it's a system, so you got to have a way to carry it on your belt or carry on your vest, and you want to carry two, and you want to use good batteries, and you can look at the rechargeable option as well. Alright, I hope that helps.